Hi everybody, this is Gary Guzzi, Chair of the Board of the Rock Creek Conservancy, and I'm just delighted to be with you today.
Welcome to Rock Creek Conservancy's Picnic in the Park. During this challenging year, Rock Creek has been a gift to all of us, and now it's time to give back. We're excited to celebrate here in Carter Barron Amphitheater, because in a year when it feels like so much has divided us, this special place reminds us of things that bring all DC residents together: music, the forest, and Rock Creek. Carter Barron has long been a place where all people come together, so it's fitting we meet here to celebrate Rock Creek, our special oasis in Washington, DC. Enjoy the picnic in the park.
Welcome, I'm Tanya Mayorkas. I'm honored to be David DeSantis' co-chair in this year's Gala turned Picnic in the Park. Thank you, fellow park lovers and stewards of Rock Creek Park. I'd like to discuss stewardship and how we can all work to protect our treasured urban green space. First, we can recreate responsibly, meaning things like staying on marked trails, leave no trace behind, physically distance, wear a mask if you're close to people, or stay home if sick. Second, I hope you'll join me and over 40,000 volunteers working in Rock Creek Park in DC and Montgomery counties. Third, continue supporting people-powered restoration of Rock Creek Park. And lastly, vote. We need leaders who support our parks and our creeks and make good choices for them. Thank you again for joining us, and I'll see you in the park.
Hi everybody, I'm Jane Paul. I'm the Vice Chair of the Board of Directors for Rock Creek Conservancy. The Conservancy is the philanthropic and stewardship partner for Rock Creek. And some of the greatest stewards of Rock Creek are the Park Service staff and the park rangers who work for Rock Creek. Thank you to those of you who do that work day in and day out, particularly this year, but every year. As park partners, we're really honored that we get to work very closely with the head of Rock Creek, the amazing Superintendent, Julia Washburn.
Thank you, Jane. Thanks so much. We are so grateful for the help of the Rock Creek Conservancy and all of the stewards that help protect Rock Creek Park, and also the entire watershed outside of our boundaries, because everything that goes on outside the boundaries affects inside the boundaries of the park. So we are so grateful for all your help, and we look forward to a long and strong relationship together.
Thanks for joining us to celebrate the treasure that's Rock Creek and its parks, and welcome to our picnic. And thank you for supporting the work of the Rock Creek Conservancy. You know, before Rock Creek Park was even founded, its preservation has demonstrated what people can do when they come together and work with visionary leaders. From the 1800s, when Rock Creek Valley was explored as a prime spot for a presidential retreat to escape the stench of the White House, to when it was almost inundated to be a water supply reservoir for Georgetown, to when in the 1960s it was eyed as a convenient site for a 4-lane highway until Metro was built and put that idea to rest, it has taken vision and perseverance to ensure the protection of this natural area and its availability to all people. That's why today we want to honor leaders who have demonstrated a profound commitment to meeting the new challenges facing this beloved resource, who have elevated the protection of nature and who embody the Conservancy's approach to galvanizing people-powered restoration. The Conservancy is delighted to honor one of Rock Creek's champion stewards, Congresswoman Eleanor Holmes Norton. Her tireless support of equality from the days as the first woman to chair the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission, to her now 30 years representing the people of the District of Columbia in Congress and fighting for statehood for the 51st state, she's been a champion of the rights and well-being of district residents, and she's also been a lifelong friend of Rock Creek, sponsoring legislation to change its name to Rock Creek National Park, to highlight its significance as the first urban national park. Congresswoman Norton was a co-sponsor this year of one of the most significant pieces of legislation to support Rock Creek, the Great American Outdoors Act, and she's been working to address the $70 million of deferred maintenance here, including working to fund restoration of this beautiful outdoor Carter Barron Amphitheater, which is the site of the Conservancy's gala this year. I'm honored to introduce and thank Congresswoman Norton for her tremendous leadership and advocacy on behalf of our natural environment and the well-being of the people of the nation's capital. Congresswoman Norton, thank you.
Thank you for your invitation to speak at the Rock Creek Conservancy's Rock Creek Picnic in the Park. Yes, picnic in the park. I appreciate the Conservancy's philanthropy and its extraordinary work as a stewardship partner to the park, and I strongly support your efforts to increase the prominence and accessibility of Rock Creek Park. In fact, my bill, H.R. 4173, would designate Rock Creek Park as Rock Creek National Park, since not only D.C. and regional residents, but the many visitors and tourists from throughout the United States and the world use Rock Creek Park. Maintaining our parks continues to be a top priority for me. This is why I hold quarterly meetings connecting DC residents with the National Park Service and have supported bills like the bipartisan Great American Outdoors Act, which was signed into law this summer. The Great American Outdoors Act addresses the National Park Service's deferred backlog, a problem that disproportionately affects the National Capital Region and especially the District of Columbia. Roughly 28% of the land in D.C. itself is owned by the National Park Service. In addition to the National Mall and Memorial Parks, NPS owns most of D.C.'s much-loved neighborhood parks, including 156 small green spaces and many circles, squares, and fountains throughout the District of Columbia. The National Mall and Memorial's parks have the highest number of deferred maintenance projects in the nation, with more than $840 million in needed repairs still outstanding, according to Pew Charitable Trusts. The most significant deferred maintenance projects involve refurbishing memorials and making necessary repairs for supporting infrastructure. Since the passage of the Great American Outdoors Act, I have written to the National Park Service requesting that the service include restoration of the Carter Barron Amphitheater in the list of projects eligible for funding made available through this bill. During this coronavirus pandemic, parks like Rock Creek have provided district residents with recreational space to enjoy, where they can exercise and gather outdoors in a safe, socially distant manner. Given Rock Creek Conservancy's commitment to developing stronger connections with all DC residents, especially with our youth, I am confident that even more of our residents can enjoy Rock Creek Park going forward. Thank you very much for all you are doing for Rock Creek Park.
Rock Creek Conservancy works to bring people and institutions together throughout the Rock Creek watershed, from its source in Maryland to its mouth at the Potomac. We're so fortunate to have strong support for public lands and parks in our congressional delegation, and that our representatives include those who recognize the transformative effects of people and nature on our health and quality of life. And that's become even more clear this year as the park has been such a refuge during the challenges posed by the coronavirus. Jamie Raskin has represented Maryland's 8th Congressional District, and in doing so was a key supporter of the recently enacted landmark Great American Outdoors Act, restoring funding to public lands throughout our nation. From his important oversight work to instill accountability and prevent the rollback of environmental and natural resource protections, to his work to address the threat of climate change, we're so appreciative of Congressman Raston's commitment to the environment and to our community of supporters. Welcome, Congressman, and thank you for being a Rock Creek champion.
Hello to all my wonderful friends at the Rock Creek Conservancy, and thank you for this extraordinary, surpassing honor, maybe the best honor I've ever gotten as a politician, to get some kind of tribute or award or recognition of any kind from the Rock Creek Conservancy. If I'm not there with you right now, it means I'm likely on the Hill. I'm still trying to eke out a COVID-19 package, or maybe I'm just off in Rock Creek Park someplace wandering, which is my favorite week time activity. The Rock Creek Park, it unites us in our region. I love the Boundary Bridge because it connects Maryland to DC, so I can hike in Maryland and go and see all of the wonderful sites out near the Mormon Temple and near the Audubon Center, and then I can come on down to Boundary Bridge and then go into DC and hike there. And so the Rock Creek Park is one of the great natural features of our region that really does bring us together as a broader community. I'm thrilled to share the stage here, such as it is, with my friend Eleanor Holmes Norton, who is a great champion of the park and of the environment and urban environmentalism. We were thrilled this year, and certainly I was thrilled to be able to vote for DC statehood and to be able to fight for statehood for people in Washington Douglas Commonwealth. I'm noting that your state is named after a native of Maryland, Frederick Douglass, but we share him too as a common point of emotional attachment. So that was another great thing that happened. So in all of the darkness and all of the attacks on the national parks and on clean water and clean air, we're coming back stronger with real regional environmentalism here in the Chesapeake Bay region. And we are going to turn things around real soon. So thank you for this extraordinary honor. I don't know if I deserve it, but I will work to deserve it every single day. And I'm thrilled to be sharing the award with my friend Eleanor Holmes Norton. And let's continue to fight for Rock Creek Park, for all of our national parks across the country. Let's fight for outdoor space, and let's fight for outdoor values and for public health. And thanks for what you do, and I will see you guys on the trails.
Thank you to all of our Rock Creek stewards. At this time, our community needs Rock Creek Park more than ever, and your support for this virtual Raise the Paddle will ensure that the committed staff and stewards of Rock Creek Conservancy can definitively turn the tide in the battle to rescue our forest and meadows from destructive invasive plants, reclaim the creek's water quality, protect nesting habitat for rare and common birds and small mammals, stop erosion, engage a new generation in caring for the park, provide safe, easy, and clear access to and experiences in Rock Creek for all visitors, and stand up for those communities who have historically had less of a voice. We hope that you will consider reaching deep to support Rock Creek Conservancy by raising your paddle below. These extraordinary times call for special gifts, and we are grateful for the opportunity to count you as part of the Rock Creek family. Thank you.